Graham McIntosh, I'm not sure if you do know the name, former DA MP, a long-time member. He resigned from the party early this year, and he released a statement which was quite homophobic. And this is what he said, in his statement. Chris Pappas never misses an opportunity to mention his own sexuality and thus promotes the homosexual agenda of a tiny militant activist lobby within the estimated 3% of registered voters who may be homosexual. He obviously quit the party, and I do have to mention that Dean McPherson was quoted in this article that I'm reading from as condemning these comments from Graham McIntosh. When you read that, I don't know, how did it make you feel when you read that?
I mean, obviously it hurts when people say things like that, especially when you don't know where they're coming from. Sort of what's driven them. I do know Graham. Graham is a very elderly gentleman, retired and lives by himself in a home, and has jumped from very many political parties over the years, and is entitled to his opinion. My job is to protect his right to have that opinion, but also protect those minorities that he is attacking in that opinion. Do I throw my sexuality out there? No, I don't. I've never campaigned on my sexuality. Is it part of who I am? Yes, it is. Like my age and my background and my education, all of those sorts of things. I'm not embarrassed by it. I'm not going to divorce myself from it. And he's entitled to his opinion. The fact that it made a newspaper was interesting because you sort of ask who is he, who is. But again, I think it's just the fact that when a lot of people link things to my name, they get some traction and then his opinion gets out there. But yeah, people are entitled to their opinion. I respect that. Mine is to also fight for those who he's speaking ill against, I guess, if you want to put that.
And just lastly on McIntosh, and I think maybe you'll understand why I'm bringing him up again. He mentioned something about that he'd struggle to actually present you to black voters within KZN, present you, meaning as a homosexual man, to black voters. Now, obviously, that is a bit condescending to the black electorates, and it is obviously not true because obviously you won in Umngeni, in a predominantly black city. But what I do want to ask is that, have you ever felt that your sexuality has ever been a factor? How do you think that the electorate, whether black or white in KZN, has actually, welcomed or sort of welcomed you or interacted with your sexuality?
No, I don't think so. It's not something that I campaign on. It's part of who I am. I don't go out there and say, vote for me, I'm a white guy. Vote for me, I have blonde hair. Vote for me, whatever. These are things that I was born with, and that's who I am. How people consider them, that's up to them, up to each individual. But I think the reality is in KZN is that there are so many differences between people, whether it is religious, whether they're intricate cultural issues, whether it's sexuality issues, that KZN is a lot more tolerant of individual difference because we understand that about people, that what happens at home or work or what happens in your family, it's yours. And that's not to be ashamed of who you are, and that's not to keep it a secret. But there's that tolerance that's been built up in KZN of these sorts of things. And it's not exactly taboo within Zulu culture either. So yeah, I think what Graham has always tried to do is he's tried to portray himself as a white person who's extra ingrained in KZN. He'll come to DA rallies and shout Zulu slogans, and that's fine. That's how he grew up, and that's his way of showing that he is part of the new South Africa and whatever. So I think his views are misaligned with the reality on the ground. And as you say, I think it is condescending to the black electorate to be an elderly white gentleman who is homophobic or perhaps has his own secrets that he's hiding, and then portray that as other people's views.